Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Stock Trade Ideas for the week of November 17th, 2014. Today is Sunday, November 16th. Not October. It's still November now. Okay. All right. So we're going to start off looking at YELP, which I got out of last week as a trade idea. Still in Facebook, and we're going to talk about Valero, Broadcom, Adobe, and United Continental. Okay, let's talk about YELP. And, I really thought YELP, we got in here on this day. I really thought this was going to break to the downside. I thought we had potential fan lines developing, and we still may. This still may develop. But after getting in right about here, came down, I thought, here we go, we're off to the races, and then we just rallied back, okay? And then we got this nice move down here on Thursday, and I thought, all right, well, now here we go. And I really thought that, after this downdraft, after this rally back, I thought, okay, we're getting a little bit of a replay of this move and this move, like a two-day swing to the downside, or this move and this move, okay? So I was expecting, on Friday morning, I was looking for either a gap down or a good move. Well, then all of a sudden, we don't even take out prior day low. Okay, so here we are Friday. We don't even take out Thursday's low. And so I'm starting to get really, really suspicious. And then when it just kept kind of creeping back up, rallying back up, the other component to my overall thinking in here is that this is the 8th trading day. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's when I've just about had it. If it's not working in 8 days, I'm out. Okay, we got to start figuring, I start figuring out either I create a stop or I just get out. And in this case, exited, had a 14% loss, and next. It's like, go on. Now, this could still play out. It would need to break this low here. But I'm just wondering, I'm actually wondering on YELP. Now, I think it's happened with a lot of the internet stocks. Like I know Pandora rallied big, Twitter has bounced around the last 3 days, but Facebook's hanging in there. Let's look at Facebook. There we go. Okay, so Facebook again has got this little broadening top formation going on in terms of a technical pattern, and I really, it broke down after the earnings report, rallied back a little bit. We got the 9 breaking down below the 21, 21's below the 55, although they're both kind of flatlining in here. All right. But we're trading down below the 10. Okay, we're trading, the 10 is the blue line. We're trading below the 10. We blow it up just a little bit. And so we got in on the trade idea on this day. And the other thing that's interesting is this trend line was broken then. Although now we've hardly had any follow through, but we're still trading just sideways. I would have liked to have seen this not close on its high for the day. Or close to its high for the day, but it's still it was inside this day, inside that day, so we're just doing a little sideways action. I am looking for this to continue to fall through to the downside. On the pattern, this pattern completes a top if this low right here, this pivot point is broken. So that's what, in my mind, what I'm looking for this to do. And the other thing from an Elliott wave perspective, I do think this is the 5th intermediate wave up. Okay, Facebook's had a nice run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But just like all runs, everything needs to correct itself. Okay, 5 runs up, five waves up, and 3 waves back is kind of the standard thing. So just because we're looking for a corrective doesn't mean that, Facebook's a bad company, the stock's, terrible, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the thing you got to remember is everything goes up, several steps forward, several steps back, several steps forward. And right now, I think we've had 5 steps forward. So I am looking for this to start to correct. And we'll just have to watch the wave count to see how it plays out. And short term, I'm looking for it to continue to the downside. And that's the play we've got on with Facebook. The next one we're going to take a look at is Valero. This is a new trade idea for tomorrow. I'm looking to get in buying puts. I do think that, and I'll have the details again. All the details of all this stuff is on the Trade Ideas webpage. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Subscribers have access, and so if you take a look at it, you can see the details there. This one I think is starting to act like it did up in here. Okay. Now the 21 is rising pretty strongly, but at this point right in here, 21 was rising pretty strongly also. Now here's the other thing that's happened is this 55, which has continued to trend to the downside, has broken below this longer term 233-day moving average. Okay. It's broken below and it's heading down. And so now I'm watching to see if this thing starts, it looks like it's thinking about rolling over. A similar type thing, let me get the crosshairs going here. Similar type thing on the demand index that it did right back in here. Okay, got below zero right on those on that day, and it's getting below zero right on Friday's action. The DI minus is not quite above DI plus yet, but it's got this little fishhook pattern going on there, and had a similar type thing happening, although yeah, right in here, little fishhook pattern, although it took a couple of days for it to truly get the DI minus breaking above DI plus. Now the RSI I would like to see a little bit lower, but I do think we've got divergence working going on here and breaking what looks like a little bit of a top on the RSI. And back on these 2 days, on this day, you know, again, the RSI hadn't gone below 50 on that 2-day scenario. So anyway, that's my idea for now, and we've got the details on the Trade Ideas webpage for tomorrow. The next one that I'm looking at is Broadcom. I've been watching Broadcom for a while now, along with several other stocks that are doing also this same pattern that we're seeing in the S&P 500 and the Dow Industrials. Okay, same broadening top. Now we've got these 5 points. Okay, this is doing what looks to me like this classic little what they call 5A. This is where it hits the 5th point, which is higher than this point here, pulls back a little bit, then does a little bit of a rally. My expectation now is I'm looking for this thing to roll over. Okay, I am not buying puts at the open. So we're not doing that. We're waiting to see how this closes tomorrow. So I'll be on high alert at 2:45 Central Time to 3 o'clock Central Time, watching to see how this closes tomorrow. And depending on how that's going to close, I may be then looking to get into puts right near the close. And so that's what I'll be watching for, because I do think this is getting ready to roll over. So it's a little bit of a counter trend move because you've got the moving averages trending up to the upside, but I'm banking a little bit on this pattern, banking on some other little activity we're seeing in here, and so we'll see if that will play out for us. Okay, 2 others that I am watching. Adobe I'm watching because remember I talked about this when I reviewed this. I think Adobe's got the potential that it's putting in a large top, and this could be one of those large head and shoulders. Now that was a big shoulder. That wasn't, let's get rid of that. That wasn't very good. All right, here we go. A little bit like this, and a little bit like that, a little bit like this. Now, the dotted line I've got drawn up in here, that's where I've got the height of the left shoulder. Now, granted, there's a little jagged in here, okay? So now we're right up in that zone. So now, because we're in the zone, I'm on a watch to see whether this starts to roll over or not. And right now it's just going sideways a little bit. Okay, so it hasn't started to roll over, but that's why it's on my watch list. And the other one for tonight, United Continental, similar type thing. Wow, look at this broadening pattern here. And I do think that this is a 5th wave. It's kind of an ending broadening diagonal. You know, 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't get any more specific than that. I mean, it's pretty clear. And I'm watching to see similar type thing. Is this going to roll over and start to turn to the downside? Let's take a look at the indicators. We're getting some divergence showing up here on RSI. Similar to here, although this was a little bit wider between the points of divergence in here. Okay, this is a little closer, but we're still getting some divergence. It's showing up on DI plus, and it's showing up on the demand index. Okay. All right. So let me see. I don't think. I mean, volume looks like it's dropped off on this last little part of this move. So again, this is on the watch list. This is what we're watching. I think that's it for tonight. So specifically for tomorrow morning, I'll be looking at Valero, and tomorrow near the close, I'll be watching to see how Broadcom does. And I did have another one I was looking at on 3D systems, but it would have meant me buying calls, and I'm really hesitant to buy calls right now because I just am thinking that this market, has gone up quite a bit so far, and I'm hesitant to jump in and buy calls, even though I know 3D systems has been down for quite a bit. So, if I miss 3D systems, I miss it. So everyone have a great Monday. We'll talk to you then.